Yo, so the Savior update just dropped, and this update is crazy, bro. So I wanted to make this video on a rundown of all the different changes that are happening in the Savior update in Korean Maplestory. This is the update that we're going to be getting in 2023 summer over here in GMS. So these things will be coming in about 6 months, and there's a lot to look forward to. So I'm just going to start from the beginning. We'll work our way all the way towards the end and go over all of the updates. So the first thing that they talked about is EXP adjustments, and this one is honestly so awesome. They were basically analyzing hyper burning, and they realized that the level 220 to 230 range was pretty slow. So they actually reduced the EXP curve all the way from 220 to 245. From 220 to 225, they reduced it by 19%. 225 to 234, they reduced it by 14%. 235 to 244, they reduced it by 8%. And finally, 245 to 260, they reduced it by 3%. So they actually reduced the curves for a lot of these level ranges, and it's really, really nice. They also increased the EXP of daily content. So they added more EXP to content that didn't give EXP before, and they increased the EXP you get from Monster Park. They increased the EXP you get from Arcane River daily quests. So overall, like, EXP is super, super free. They made it way, way better. Not only is this huge for, all of our mains and stuff like that, but it's also huge for boss mules. So I've always been saying, like, oh, get a 220 boss mule, 220 boss mule. Now, honestly, at this point, 225 or even 230 is the new 220. Boss muling is just so much better now. It's so much easier. And if you do want to stop at 220, it's just even easier to get to 220. The next thing they changed was in regards to symbols. So for Arcane River, VJ, Choo Choo, and Latch and Arcana, they increased the amount of symbols you get in those first four areas, which is always good. Hotel Arcus and Cernium sacred symbols, you get 5 more for the dailies now. So finally, sacred symbols aren't so miserable to upgrade. You could get them twice as fast now. The next thing is Arcane River special content. So this is like the party quest that you do. Dream Defender is being changed to something called Midnight Chaser. We're not 100% sure what this means, but we'll have to see what Midnight Chaser is when it goes live. Spirit Saver, they made it a lot easier so that you can't die now. It's only time restricted. So before, with the toxic spirit chasing you around, if it touched you like 2 times, you would die and you would lose. Now that's not a thing anymore. H Mudo, you could only do normal version now, and it's way easier. Urda Spectrum, you don't have to do your second phase of Urda Spectrum. You just put the balls in the thing on the side, and that's it. And the biggest change to the Arcane River Party Quest dailies is, instead of doing it 3 times a day, they changed it to 3 times a week. So they turned it into weeklies, which is pretty crazy. And they did it so that every single time you do it per week, you get 45 symbols total. And that's kind of awesome. Instead of doing it daily, because I'm sure we all dreaded doing, you know, VJPQ daily and Urda Spectrum, all that stuff. Now we just have to do it weekly, and that's actually a really huge change, to be honest with you, because I am sick of that. Yeah, in regards to upgrading the symbol cost, they don't plan to lower it any further because it's already pretty cheap. Okay, the next thing they mentioned is exceptional enhancement. So what is exceptional enhancement? This is a completely new way to upgrade gear, but only very specific gear. And right now, it's only for pitch boss items, and they gave the examples of the Dreamy Belt and the Berserk. So basically, Extreme Black Mage and Extreme Saren. Extreme Black Mage drops this item that enhances the Dreamy Belt, and Extreme Saren drops an item that enhances the Berserk. And what this does is basically, it's like an attachment you could put on your Dreamy Belt that gives it plus 20 all stat, 1000 HP MP, and 15 attack slash magic attack. And it's 100% chance to apply. It's not like a random chance to apply. So basically, if you defeat Extreme Black Mage, Extreme Saren, and you have those items, Dreamy Belt and Berserk, like, you get these like attachments you could add on top of the item to make the items even stronger, which is pretty interesting. A pretty interesting way to upgrade items. I think this is pretty cool because this can lead to a new system in the game where we can like add attachments to our items and make them stronger that way, which I think is pretty interesting. Now, the next big change is tweaked star forcing. Instead of star forcing how it is now, where up to 15 you could boom and it goes up and down, 10 to 15 hell, there's no 10 to 15 hell anymore. You cannot boom up to 15 stars. Basically, think like no boom room. Literally, you cannot boom until after 15. And then the other thing is, even if you fail the star forcing, it doesn't drop down a star. So if you were to go from 13 to 14 and you fail, it's not going to go back down to 12. You're going to just stay at 13. Although they did increase the star forcing cost because of this, it's still net way cheaper, like almost 40% cheaper total, getting to 15 stars, which is amazing. Tyrants, this doesn't apply to tyrants. And when you boom an item, it will still go back to 12 stars. They were hoping to decrease the variance in star forcing. So what does that mean? That basically means instead of getting like extremely unlucky and extremely lucky in star forcing, where some people boom like 100 times, some people boom 0 times, they're making it more consistent so that the average amount is really like, that's most likely really going to be the case, which is always a good thing. Skill adjustments. So there is a big balance change coming this patch. And not only is there a balance change, they discuss how they're going to change skills moving forward. And this is incredibly important. This, in my opinion, is probably the most important thing. I understand that a lot of other things are more hype, but this is probably the most important thing in regards to the balance of the game and what they're doing. The goal for 2022 was to make structural adjustments to skills to make it less stressful and to reduce the variance by class. So what does that mean? Right now, there's crazy variance in the classes. Like the top class is so much better than the worst class, and they want to make it so that it's an even playing field as close as possible to that. And not only in bossing, but in mobbing as well. They showed a ton of data backing this up, and they even have a new balancing team. They hired more people and they've been working on it a lot, and it actually looks really, really promising. Like I've been playing this game for many, many years, and the balancing has been so bad, and this looks genuinely so promising, and it's actually so exciting. They were showing basically these charts from last year compared to this year, how the difference from the top and the bottom of the class has changed. So last year there was basically like a 40% final damage difference from the top to bottom, and now it's around a 30%. So it's getting more and more balanced over time. Things are looking better. They showed also graphs for mobbing. They showed the difference between mobbing classes. So last year, basically the top class would get like 220 mobs in a minute and the bottom class would get like 170. Now it's more like the top class gets 220 and the bottom class gets 200. So there's like a smaller difference in that. And then in regards to bossing, like I said earlier, there was a 42% difference between the top class and the bottom class. Now there's a 31% difference. And the big thing about bossing that they changed, and now this one is huge. So if you guys didn't know in the past, KMS would balance every class based off of their performance in Varus Hilla and V Hilla. So that was, V Hilla was the gold standard in terms of performance. So if a class did really good in V Hilla, it would probably get nerfed. And if a class did really bad in V Hilla, it would probably get buffed. So now they're changing it so that they're going to test the performance of classes through every boss. So they showed examples of this. They showed an example where Class A excelled in V Hilla, like exceptionally, but it didn't do that great in Lotus. What does that mean, right? That means like their balancing system was flawed from the first place, because if a class did well in V Hilla and bad in Lotus, that means, you know, that was just a specific case that did really good in V Hilla. And they're doing this with all these different bosses in like Lotus, Darknell, all the bosses basically. They're going over all the bosses in regards to performance. So although this does mean we're probably going to get less frequent balance changes, we should get more meaningful balance changes that actually balance out the game, because we're looking at performance in regards to all the bosses, not just one. And they showed a lot of data backing this up, and it really does look promising. Moving forward, there's a new area that they released. We don't know 100% if it's a new area that's like level 280, for example, or it's an attachment to Odium, similarly to how Kalos Tower is an attachment to Hotel Arcus. So new area is called Dowon Kyung. There's a new boss in that area called Karing. And Karing is a 330 Sacred Forest requirement boss. And this boss looks insane, to be honest with you. It looks insane. I do think that it's going to be cleared relatively quickly because the 330 Sacred Force requirement really isn't that high. This boss is very new in terms of mechanics. It requires the division of roles and good communication skills, and it's very important where you position your characters. So it's a 3-phase boss. The first phase has 3 different bosses in it, and your party splits into 2s. So if you have a party of 6, 2 of you would go into the boss to face each one of those bosses, and then you have to all coordinate together to do whatever the task is. They haven't specified all the details, but yeah, that's what it is. Phase 2, all the bosses come back to Karing and they all fuse together, and you have to face her with all the bosses' powers combined. Phase 3 seems to be the most difficult one. They all split up again. Karing goes her, her true power form, and all the bosses, you have to face them all in one room at the same time. The 3 summon bosses that she has are stationary and she flies around the map. So moving forward past the new boss, this is extremely hype as well. I'm super hyped about this. Is Kali, the new class Kali. It's a Flora thief that moves around as fast as the wind. So the entire design of this class, they wanted it to be a class that attacks while she's moving around. So you can see some footage here of the class. This class moves around insanely fast and the animations look crazy. How the class works is it creates these triangles basically that float in the air, and you have to use your skills to proc them, and they do a bunch of bonus damage. So there's a ton of movement and procking skills in this class, and it just looks crazy, to be honest. I'm definitely going to be playing this a ton, like 100%. Like this class actually is so hyped. Yeah, so there's also a ton of rewards with the Kali creation event. You get rewards up to level 230, and you can see here with the rewards, there's like growth potions, nodes, symbols, Apsa weapon, unique emblem. It seems to be like a Kali pet. And the other thing with Kali, which is unique, they've never done this before, is this is a terror burned character. So everybody will have their Kali be terror burned to 200. So this is really awesome because basically you're getting a level 200 for free, and everybody will be able to experience Kali to its fullest to level 200 with the 5th job immediately. Because a lot of people, they play the new class, they play it to like 140 and that's it. They never get to know what the 5th job is like. Now there's also other rewards that you don't have to do on your Kali. They're really, really good. You could get a back pet and another mag growth pot. And the rewards for Kali go up to 230. So they really are pushing us to get to level 230 instead of 220. Whereas nowadays, when you create a new character, you get rewards up to 220. Think like Destiny and Ignition, Lara release. This is all like all of those events like had rewards up to 220. Now with the Kali event, it's level 230. And they showed us the new event map. The event map will be Wonky's Restaurant. And what's really good about this event is there's going to be a new game every 10 days. The games, they said they're going to be super fun. I mean, we'll see. And they're going to be like, some games are going to be like old games, but improved. And what's really nice about this Wonky's Restaurant event is the rewards are kind of broken, to be honest. They're kind of like the best rewards we've ever gotten. Week 1 provides a 30-day prepared pen of the spirit, vac pet, choo choo set, skin coupon, and mag potion. Like there's a lot of rewards in this event. Week 2 has EXP minigames, and you know how like right now in the Ignition event there's like the matching game or like the beach ball game that's going on right now. Do it twice a day and you get EXP. With this minigame, you could do it 5 times a day and you get the same amount of EXP. So it's over double the amount of EXP you're getting a day. You could legit go from 200 to 202 in one day, legit, just from playing this minigame, which is broken as hell. So that even adds on to getting to 220 or 230 even faster, because these events you could do it 5 times a day. Week 3 has cosmetic items through that you could get cosmetic items through the minigames. And week 4 is very, very interesting. So week 4 is one entire week of Sunny Sundays event. So the first day of week 4 is Star Forcing 1+1. Day 2 of week 4 is Mag Soul event times 5 chance. Day 3 of week 4 is Shining Star Force, so 5, 10, 15, and 30% off. Day 4 of week 4 is DMT. Day 5 of week 4, we're gonna get something else because they get like a scrolling event. We don't get that for reboot, but yeah. Day 6 of week 4 is Inner Ability 50% off, and day 7 of week 4 is Star Force 30% off. So that entire week is like Sunny Sundays every single day, which is crazy. There's also going to be an event pass, exactly like how Ignition event pass is right now, where you just do your daily rewards, claim your stamp, and then, you know, you get event buffs. And there's a battle pass too. It's going to cost 40k NX, of course, to get double your rewards. And not only do you get the rewards, now they made it that you get EXP for the rewards too. So yet another source of EXP. There's also going to be another hyper burning, and that's exciting because now hyper burning, we could get another free 250 essentially. So yeah, you're going to get the usual symbols, nodes, Apso, weapon box, dominator pendant, eternal flame ring, all that stuff. You're going to get everything from that, from the hyper burning, which is exciting. The next thing is the Blackpink collab. We're going to get this in GMS a lot earlier. We're not getting this with the Kali. We're probably going to get it this month because the Blackpink thing is going global all around the same time. For KMS, they're getting it with their Kali update. For us, we're going to get as part of Ignition. And, you know, if you like the NX, you like the NX. Me personally, I like the female bunny hat outfit. The rest, I don't really think is that good, but the damage skin is extremely good, in my opinion. Basically, to wrap it up, the first part of the event is going to be the bounce changing, the Star Force change, and the Blackpink part. Well, that's for KMS, but for us, we get it right away. Second part is Kali release and hyperburning, and third part is the new area with the new boss. And to wrap it up again, they said towards the end of the event we're gonna get even more mag potions, custom mixed die coupons, and savior rings and all that stuff. So all in all, this event is pretty crazy, to be honest with you. It kind of has everything. This is the final letter of the grandest updates. Savior. It kind of has everything: new class, new area, new boss, skill adjustments, in terms of mobbing and bossing, entire new way that they're gonna validate classes of whether they're too OP or too underpowered, EXP adjustments, symbol adjustments, new way to upgrade your gear with the exceptional enhancements, another hyper burning. It just got everything. Like, this event literally just has everything. So I think this event's gonna be really exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, I hope this video made you guys, understand things a little bit better. And as more information comes out, I'll be sure to update you guys. Thanks for watching.